Hello everyone, my name is Yunbo Yang, and next I will present our work Senior Distributed Privacy Preserving zkSNARK. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me with my Telegram, WhatsApp, WeChat, or the email, and this is my personal website. And the presentation consists of four parts, including background, system model, senior, and the implementation. And first, we will give the background of the zkSNARK. zkSNARK consists of three components, including PIOP, the polynomial interactive overall proof, and PCS, polynomial commitment scheme, and the Fuchs-Shamir transformation. And in PIOP, the prover gives a verifier oracle access to a polynomial, and the verifier can make query on the polynomial oracle with a public point alpha, and gets the evaluation of the polynomial p alpha. And in PIOP, it only consists of the polynomial arithmetic, including polynomial addition, multiplication, and point evaluation. And in PCS, instead of sending oracle access to the verifier, the prover gives a commitment to the polynomial, and the verifier gives a challenge alpha to the prover, and the prover responds with an evaluation of the polynomial p alpha along with an opening proof pi. And to make the proof system non-interactive, we need to apply the Fuchs-Shamir that use random oracle to make the entire proof system non-interactive. And this is the corresponding zkSNARK computation circuit. First, the worker takes a witness W as the input to the PIOP, and after PIOP computation, it generates several prover polynomials px, and then it commits to the prover polynomials and generates the commitment to the prover polynomials commitments p, and then and thirdly, it opens the prover polynomials at an evaluation point with a call to a random oracle and generates an evaluation of the polynomial pt and generates corresponding opening polynomial hx. And finally, it commits to the opening polynomial hx and gets the commitment to the opening polynomial. And next, I will give a brief introduction about our proposed senior. First, compared with the state-of-the-art works EOS, the delegator needs to engage with the workers in the online proof generation phase, and it needs to invoke an interactive consistency checker with the workers to check that the correctness of the PIOP computation and prevents that the workers conducts any malicious behaviors. However, such interactivity is not good in real-world applications. To remove the interactivity for the delegator, we propose senior. In senior, all workers uses non-interactive consistency checker to check the correctness of the entire PIOP computation. And after sending all of the information, the delegator do not need to engage with the workers for further verification. And finally, the delegator will still get the correct proof. And this is our requirements for the senior. First, the non-interactive consistency checker for the delegator. Second, security against honest majority with malicious corruption. And third is the lightweight operation for the delegator. And next, we will give a brief introduction about the senior construction. We formalize three potential attacks for zkSNARK computation. The first attack is that in the input to the PIOP phase, the malicious worker may generate invalid commitment to a share of the private witness. What's more, it is known that the malicious worker may alter the private witness sent by the delegator, so they need to invoke a witness consent checker to ensure the consistency of the commitment. And this is the design of the witness consent checker. The delegator additionally generates a share of a random point and the corresponding share of the evaluation to workers. And after each worker commits to the witness polynomial, it generates the evaluation along with an opening proof pi and sends them to the workers. That is to say, in the offline phase, the delegator generates a random element alpha and computes the witness and generates shares of the W alpha to help workers in the verification process. And in the verification phase, all workers need to first reconstruct the alpha and compute the evaluation of the witness polynomial and along with an opening proof. And finally, all workers jointly recover the evaluation of witness W alpha and checks whether W alpha equals to the another W alpha and if each evaluation proof is valid. And the second potential attacks for the zkSNARK computation is that in the PIOP computation phase, a malicious worker may generate a consistency commitment to the share of the private witness, but use another share to execute the PIOP computation or deviate from the PIOP protocol and or generate invalid commitment to the outputted plural polynomials. To prevent such attack, we need to invoke a PIOP consent checker to ensure that the correctness between the plural polynomial and the commitment and the correctness of the PIOP computation. And in the PIOP consent checker, we use the secret shared based arithmetic to do the PIOP computation. Therefore, addition of the shares and multiplication of the shares all have the linear homomorphism. And we invoke the beaver multiplication to do the multiplication of the shares. Instead, to design an efficient PIOP consent checker, the delegator needs to generate a tag along with a key to the workers. Mu and Vi is to the prover PJ, and the corresponding tag tau is to the PI, and the tau is equals to the mu multiply Wi plus Vi, and multiplication is the same as it also enjoys linear homomorphism. And suppose the outputted the polynomial, prover polynomial only consists of one polynomial px equals to p0 plus p1 multiply x to the pd multiply x to the d. And suppose a worker have the inputs P0 to the PD and along with the corresponding tags. And the workers PJ have the mu and the VP0, VP1 to the VPD are the corresponding keys. And to first, the worker needs to open the PX at a public point along with an opening proof, and then workers use random linear combinations to combine P0 to PD and tags tau P0 to tau PD to get the corresponding tags to the evaluation of the PX, and the workers verify the opening proof, use the random linear combination to combine all keys, and verify the combined keys that are valid with the combined keys and shares. Third, we formalize the finally potential attacks for the zkSNARK computation. The second attack is that the malicious behavior may generate invalid final proofs, and the solution is to reconstruct and verify the final proof. So this is the final protocol about the Siniel construction. And finally, this is our implementation. We implement the running time of the naive Merlin prover EOS and Siniel, and also we do implementation about the running time of the EOS and the Siniel worker, and these figures are the results of the implementation. And thank you. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me via email, Telegram, WhatsApp, or the WeChat. Thank you.
For the talk, we have time for a few questions. All right, if there's no questions in the room, I actually have a few questions. Thank you for the talk, Nilma. I think I have one question that's a little bit in the weeds, but at the beginning of the talk, you had the delegator sending a proof to the workers, and maybe I've misunderstood the threat model, but I thought the concern is that the workers are maybe misbehaving. Why does the delegator need to send a proof and not just the shares?
Sorry, the delegator sends the shares and finally receives the proof, not send the proof to the workers. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. There's a question in the room.
Yes, thank you for your talk. It seems like you were doing some kind of checking of the witness that the delegator provides. But at the same time, you also seem to reconstruct the proof in the very end of the protocol. So I didn't quite get why you then need to actually do the check of the witness, since if the witness is not a correct witness, the final proof should not verify, right? So why is this check needed in the beginning?
Because you can see in our paper, we formalize one attack, and a paper published in Ustic Security 2025, and also formalized a check in EOS. For EOS, the basic check for us is for the EOS is that we can guess part of a witness. For example, for a bit constraint, we know a bit constraint is the B multiply 1 minus B equal to 0, and B may equal to 0 or 2 or 1. Suppose there are three workers in the system, and one of the worker do not, although one of the workers does not know the part of the witness, but he can guess the witness, and such as the one, and he can change the witness. He can change the share of the witness, and the others P2 and P3, the other two workers, the secret of other two workers are under 1, and the share may be changed from 0 to 1 if in the PIOP computation the check is one of the final check is failure, and there is some privacy leakage during the computation. If the PIOP computation is aborts when the verification falls, and we cannot get the final proof, and thus the privacy leakage will be the privacy will be protected. And as mentioned in the paper DFS published in Justice and Security 2025, they formalized an addictive attack for the DFS. In addictive attack, they use the beaver multiplication protocol to do the multiplication of each shares, and they add up some error that we know as the cross turn into the share, and it can lead to failure to the final proof, and the final proof will leak some part of the witness, such as a bit of constraint. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being online to answer our questions.